right now is the Vice Chancellor of the University of Zimbabwe, and it is Professor Paul Mafumo. Professor Paul Mafumo, good day and welcome to the program.
Good day to you, Valentine.
Professor Mafumo, to get us started, maybe you can tell us how you are organizing the brain and expert power of the University of Zimbabwe and its capacity to deliver on its promise to support Vision 2030.
Thank you very much for your question. You know, university business is about a university providing comprehensive solutions to national problems and to mankind. And what we're doing here at the University of Zimbabwe is to start to reconfigure our different departments, our different units and faculties, so that we focus on where our expertise lies. We focus on what the nation needs. So we try to connect ourselves to society, to industry, to commerce, to people, and say, what is it that will make us most relevant? So this, we look at the university becoming a global center of research and innovation. And to do that, we have organized now the faculties into a programmatic approach, which means we would center much of the learning, much of the research, much of the innovation around prioritized problem areas, which would answer the question, what does each faculty stand for? What is their value to society? And with that, it means that we will be using a programmatic approach to research and innovation, and teaching is informed by that programmatic approach.
Having said that, Professor Mafumo, how therefore have you ensured the participation of undergraduates and young researchers along their professors during the research week?
First, I would like to say we are holding this research week, and the research week is one of three most important events of the university. The first important event of the university is the enrollment. When we take the young people, the professionals, the practitioners onto the university to embark on their degree programs, their diplomas, their learning with the university, where they would learn about conducting research, providing solutions to people. And with that, the second one would be the research week, where there is an exhibition of what these people are producing. In the past, we have not focused so much on what is it that is cooking in the university. And this should be surely a very big day where industry would want to come and see what is it that's coming out of the university. What are the new solutions? What is the cutting edge technology? What is the new thinking in doing business? Which is the latest knowledge on addressing certain solutions? And when that happens, then the university is beginning to talk to people. And the third most important event then is the graduation, where you say these are the people who have acquitted themselves. They have completed the process of development in a university context, and we're now releasing them to society. And by that time, society knows what to expect. And in terms of making sure that our young people interact with their seniors, it's not just with their seniors, it's also with the practitioners, people from industry, the people from commerce. So what the research week does is to say, let's have categories in our structure. We have the young and upcoming people. We have the early career people, which are your lecturers, your senior lecturers. We also have your seniors, which are your renowned professors. And when they exhibit together, when they begin to interact on that same platform, and they are addressing and engaging people from industry, people from commerce, people from the grassroots, we begin to see the young people gaining confidence that this is the reason why we're doing it. This is the reason why we are going to school, why we are learning. And that's the purpose, really, of the Research Week.
With the view that the new Education 5.0 framework emphasizes on innovation and industrialization, how do you ensure that the focus on innovation and industrialization will not spread the university capacity too thin to the detriment of research, of teaching, and above all, community service as well?
That's a very good question. That's where the core of the issue is. This is a design problem. So the Education 3.0 is not something that we would wish to consider as the norm and to protect. No. It is actually the problem. Why is it a problem when we have been using it for so long? It is because we realize that in the design, it will never make us cross the line. So we will not make a breakthrough through Education 3.0. So to correct that, we have to really follow and come up with a new design. And we are happy that government has come up with this new design of Education 5.0. And what it does is not spread thin, but refocus and make ourselves able to cross that mark, the mark of development.
Having said that, Professor, how different is Education 5.0 from 3.0 when you consider that the University of Zimbabwe has been exhibiting new research products, particularly at the Zimbabwe International Trade Fair and during expos previously organized by the Ministry of Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development?
If you look at it, because of the design problem that I just alluded to, we were searching for innovations. We were searching for those people who can come up with novelty. So it was a search. So what do? You gather a lot more institutions, a lot more people, and try to search in case you stumble across an innovation. People who are doing well. But it means the design is flawed. Now the design focuses on developing them, nurturing innovations, mentoring young people for innovation, which means directly you know that you want to do something for industrialization. You want to do something for modernization in your design. And when that happens, you see that when the university was participating in the past, we used to go there with 37, 40 exhibitors. And among them, probably you then get some reasonable number that generate sufficient interest from the public, if we talk of relevance. But now, if you look at what we have done in the last ZITF, you will see that we went there with 15 exhibits. And all of them generated lots of interest. And why? Because these are already nurtured and focused on developing capacities to innovate and allowing space for these young people and their senior professors to show that they can innovate in a way that becomes relevant to our industry, relevant to our people.
Professor Mafumo, Zimbabwe is in dire need of industrialization. How will the University of Zimbabwe research activities lead to industrialization?
Focus on the programmatic approach will do and answer a very simple question. What do our people want? And if our professors, if our students are trying to address what is it that we want, they have the sufficient background to know themselves. They know their heritage. They know where they're coming from. They know our circumstances. So they know what their mothers want, their fathers want, their people want. If we do that, then we know we have to make bread. We know we have to produce solutions of having a good business culture. We know we have to have very good accounting systems for the resources that we use. And when we do that, we know we have to manufacture clothing. We have to manufacture our equipment that we use. And when we do that, it means that we don't have to argue about relevance. It simply flows.
Africa has a shared history and common challenges of slow and sluggish economic growth. How can higher education, particularly universities, contribute to reversal of this worrying trend, and how do research activities such as your Research Week contribute to the change of the continent's socio-economic fortunes?
The Research Week doesn't just create awareness, it also creates opportunities. African governments should realize that you only develop yourself. People develop themselves because they know themselves better in terms of their needs and their wants. And African governments should understand that it all starts with research. We have to conduct that research. We have to fund that research. We have to promote and reward that research. And to me, Zimbabwe is at its best time. His Excellency, the President, Comrade Emmerson Mnangagwa, is very sincere in taking and putting responsibility on our higher and tertiary education institutions to deliver. And that's what probably African governments should take cue from. And our Minister for Higher and Tertiary Education, Science and Technology Development is also very sincere. He's not just a minister, he's a professor who really relates well to what it is that it takes to deliver goods and services to people. And if our focus as a nation is in that direction, and we all ride on that sincerity to open opportunities for our young people, to provide solutions for us, then Africa will be on a new path.
Professor Mafuma, in conclusion, maybe if you can highlight to us who is invited to the Research Week.
Thank you very much, Valentine. I want to take this opportunity to say at the University of Zimbabwe Research Week 2019, we are inviting the public in general. We are inviting industry, the captains of industry and commerce. We are inviting small to medium enterprises, civic society, government institutions. We're also inviting the members of the diplomatic corps to come to the University of Zimbabwe and witness the path we are taking through the exhibits and informed presentations that will be given by our scholars, our researchers. And just to highlight the main features of the Research Week, we'll see the opening of the University of Zimbabwe Innovation Hub as part of the Research Week. The university would want to take the opportunity to launch its strategic plan 2019 to 2025, which is a transformative strategic plan. And then we will also see what we are calling a Partners Day. For the first time, the university is actually inviting people. When I say people, it's industry, commerce, society, to come and tell us what we don't know about them in terms of business, in terms of what they do, so that they have a platform to share and identify areas where they want to cooperate and collaborate with the university. Then we also have a session where we'll have high-level dialogues. The high-level dialogues is where the topical issues will be discussed from the perspective and position of evidence, where research information, research data will be presented to allow more informed deliberations and discussions about some of Zimbabwe's topical issues. We also will see the relaunch of the University of Zimbabwe alumni, where we are now saying we will facilitate that the alumni of the university should take part and take charge to support the institution, to support the cause of the institution. So they should be having a platform to now rally around the university, organize themselves, give support. It's not just support to the university, it's support to the nation through the university. And those are the key events that will happen at the university during the research week. So we also welcome schools to be able to see what the university environment is like. And obviously, we want to think that most of the school pupils would want to, it is their dream to come to the university, particularly to the University of Zimbabwe.
Professor Mafumo, thank you very much for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much.
Well, we've been talking there to the Vice Chancellor of the University of Zimbabwe, that is Professor Paul Mafumo. I certainly hope you did enjoy the program. And as always, remember, right here at the University of Zimbabwe, we're all about knowledge, diligence, and integrity.